Exploration is the most important thing in open worlds, in my opinion, because you are going to get a story, you're going to get combat and all the other features. But without exploration being something that's satisfying, then your open world game is a waste. And so today we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, everything that we know about exploration. I'm going to help you guys see the clearer picture of what is new. This is some really key things that are going to be changing Assassin's Creed forever if they follow this model from here going forward. I love what they're doing. In the past, we would get thousands of icons, and that's something that is kind of irritating for some people. Others don't mind it. Personally, I'm a fan of minimal everything. So I prefer to see what you're seeing on the screen besides my logo on the bottom right, which I'm going to point out. I have combat guides, stealth, and story stuff for Assassin's Creed Shadows you can check out on the channel. It's a quick plug. That's going to be the only one for today. Hope you enjoy this. So let's get into it. First things first that I want to say is the accessibility options in Assassin's Creed Shadows are really good, and they allow you to change the HUD and do some things that we've seen in some of the previous games, but they pretty much have did way more this time for the player themselves. Even if you turn on every HUD feature, you still will have to get information, investigate, observe things, speak with people, ask for some help possibly by companions, things like that to unlock everything you need in this game. And to me, that is a great feature, and that is a good overall game design when you're making an open world. They have caves, they have secret locations, and of course, people that you will bump into throughout the game for some quests and things like that, that are going to make it very rewarding in that regard, as well as the companions. These are companions you can use for gameplay. You can call in for some backup and they will help you out. And you will have to earn their trust and work with them with some side missions and things like that that will help you build them up. And then you have to keep on building them up in different ways. So it is a cool feature to add to make you explore more and to basically get out there and get the job done, which I think is going to be probably the most valuable part of this open world. And I'm going to get a little deeper into it, but I wanted to start off with that conversation just in general to help you understand like, oh, wow, so I'm not going to know every objective everywhere. The way the game works is if you did have a main target, they'll tell you he's up north in a castle, but you would have to look through, let's say, 4 or 5 different castles if you just wanted to explore. But you do have options to have your companions scout if you make companions. You have to choose to make companions. You can refuse to have them as companions, or you can work with them. So these are going to be choices within the game where you build your bonds with these characters that can help you if you want. If not, you can explore, go up to the traditional viewpoints where you can see the map and then you can observe certain locations and do a lot of things. I know there's a lot of action on screen, but I'm going to take a moment just to give you guys some of these features with these highlight videos that I have showcased before, but I want to break it down. So there's an observe feature here that you're watching, which is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it is an important piece of the experience where not only are you going to be exploring, looking at this bird, drawing it, you're getting XP, which will let you unlock skills. This is a great reward for something simple that you can just do relaxing as you explore the open world, take on all the beautiful sights and things like that. This is, to me, something that I've seen in some other games. You guys know which one I'm talking about. They did something similar where you relax and end up getting some rewards and upgrading your character. I had a lot of fun with that feature because there are times where I just want to relax and I can do a couple of exploring in the middle of that. And sometimes it turns into an adventure because you fight a boss and you go through different motions in that regard. So personally, I love that. Now, this is the main feature that I wanted to talk about here. You have Observe. Observe will allow you to scout the area and see who's out here. They'll show you things like, for example, your target, which we're seeing here. Maybe it'll show you, you can lock on and mark characters, and there's a lot more like treasure and things like that that you'll be able to observe. That's going to be an important part of exploration, in my opinion. But those are choices that you get to make if you want that type of information. And another feature for those who might need a hand is the guide mode. You don't have to put this on and you don't have to use it at all, but it's a way for you to find a path to get to where you want to go if you're having a hard time. Now, back to the traditional viewpoint. While it's still going to activate this synchronization, which is probably one of my favorite things to do in Assassin's Creed, you're not going to unlock every icon in the whole region, and you're not going to have that stuck on your map. You have to choose to observe and select what to look at and what not to look at, and to point out key things. For example, we're going to see here where I point out this undiscovered location. Great. Now I know that there's a waypoint of where I wanted to go. And from there, I can move on and do what I have to do. These are the kind of things that you got to think about. That's so different than our previous ways where we would just unlock a region completely. And then there's things like finding resources. These resources for your companions, they'll end up picking it up for you. You can't carry that big of a load, but the companions, aka the scouts, will end up grabbing it and doing that for you. There's another feature, of course, to scout a specific area. If you just want to get it over with and see what's there, your scouts can do the job for you. And they can go and locate items, points of interest, and things like that that can help you see what you need to do next. Maybe find a target, unlock new information for your board about everything that you have for objectives. It's a very cool feature, but it's choice, and you do not have to use them. You can explore on your own and have a good time taking on the world. One thing I can say is this game is beautiful. I've seen so much footage of this game. I'm talking over 10 to 20 hours worth of footage already, and I absolutely love everything I've seen so far. But yeah, just to kind of point that out and to give you the example of how that's going to work and how awesome to me that really is. And so maybe you guys are into it, maybe you're not, but I know that I am, and I'm super excited to see how far along we get in this series when it comes to this new change. Personally, I'll have all my HUDs off. I'll play on the hardest difficulty for stealth. I'll have to see about combat. If it scales well on the hardest difficulty, I'll enjoy that. And then from there, it's going to be just an immersive experience for me where I get lost in the world. As you can see, this footage is different because the HUD is on. The previous footage was with no HUD and it was simple, but this one does have the HUD. And that's just an example of things that change depending on the scenario. And now, hoping this stuff helps you understand, wow, I can have the type of experience I want. There's other great games that we love that won't have so much icons and won't have so much clutter, and it'll let you find your way in a beautiful open world. And I believe this game is going to offer that. Japan is one of the best settings in all of real life and video game history, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my opinion. All right, so that's my breakdown on exploration. There's so much more to talk about. I'm just covering the basis here. When the game releases, we'll dive even deeper and get into some things. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was informative and helping you get excited for exploration. We'll keep you covered here with these awesome combat guides, stealth guides, and all the things that I have on the channel already. Go check them out right now. They should be popping up on your screen. We appreciate you. See you on the next one.